In this section, we are going to discuss about voltage regulation in alternators, EMF and MMF methods. What is voltage regulation? Voltage regulation in an alternator is defined as the change in terminal voltage from no load to full load with respect to rated terminal voltage when load on the machine is suddenly thrown on by keeping field excitation and speed constant at rated full load and at no load. So, in order to calculate voltage regulations of a given alternator, we need to measure two voltages, that is the terminal voltage corresponding to rated condition, that is V, and the terminal voltage corresponding to no load condition. While we are taking these two readings, we need to maintain the field excitation and speed constant. Rated condition means the alternator is running at its rated speed, that is at synchronous speed, delivering rated armature current at rated voltage. This voltage is rated terminal voltage V. After measuring the rated terminal voltage, we need to suddenly throw off the load switch. Ultimately, speed of the alternator gets increased. By adjusting the field of the prime mover, we can maintain the speed constant. After ensuring speed as the rated speed, we need to take the terminal voltage of the alternator that gives no load induced EMF E0. Once we got E0 and V, we can calculate voltage regulations by means of this equation. VR is equal to E0 minus V by V into 100%. Voltage regulation in an alternator depends on load and power factor of operation. Let's see the variation of terminal voltage with respect to load current and power factor of operation. As it is clear from this graph, this is the rated terminal voltage. For lagging and unity power factor, as load current increases, the terminal voltage gets decreased. Therefore, E0 is greater than V. As E0 is greater than V, the voltage regulation is positive for lagging and unity power factor condition. For leading power factor, as load current increases, the terminal voltage also increased. Therefore, E0 is less than V. Therefore, usually for leading power factor of operation, voltage regulation is negative. Under lagging power factor of operation, armature reaction effect is having cross magnetization and demagnetization. Therefore, net MMF or net flux is getting decreased as load current is increasing. For leading power factor of operation, armature reaction is having cross magnetization and magnetization. Therefore, net flux is increasing as load current is increasing. Therefore, E0 is less than V in the case of leading power factor of operation. So next point is why we need to calculate voltage regulation. Using voltage regulation in alternator, it is possible to know the performance of the machine at different operating conditions. Different operating conditions means at different load current at different power factor. Then it is possible to know the range of field excitation at different operating conditions. And it is possible to know the variation of load angle or power angle at different operating conditions. Now let's see the voltage regulation in alternator with the help of equivalent circuit. So this is the equivalent circuit corresponding to loaded case. Here VDC is the DC supply used to excite the field winding of the alternator. E0 is no load induced EMF per phase. Here field current is adjusted so as to generate rated voltage across its terminal. And by adjusting load, we can deliver rated armature current. This is the total impedance of the machine, which is termed as synchronous impedance, which includes leakage reactance, armature reaction reactance, and armature resistance per phase. Leakage reactance represents reduction in induced EMF due to the presence of leakage flux. Therefore, leakage reactance represents an EMF concept. Armature XA represents armature reaction effect. As armature current is flowing, armature flux interact with the main flux. That effect is known as armature reaction. Due to armature reaction, a phasor EA is developed. That voltage phasor EA and armature currents resembles the characteristics of a pure inductive coil. Therefore, armature reaction is usually represented by means of a fictitious reactance XA, which is having the characteristics of pure inductive coil. RA is effective armature resistance per phase. So, After maintaining rated conditions on the machine, that is, speed of the machine is equal to synchronous speed, adjust the field excitation so as to generate rated voltage, and by adjusting load, deliver the rated armature current. All the condition we need to keep. Speed is synchronous speed, voltage is rated voltage, and armature current is rated armature current. We need to measure this voltage with the help of voltmeter or multimeter. After that, we need to suddenly turn off the load switch. The machine becomes no load case. Under no load case, armature current becomes zero. This is the equivalent circuit corresponding to no load case. As armature current is zero, there is no armature flux. There is no interaction between armature flux and main flux. That means there won't be any armature reaction effect. So XA won't be there in the equivalent circuit of the machine under no load case. So when we are suddenly thrown off the load switch, the speed of the machine will increase. By adjusting the field of the prime mover motor, we can maintain the speed to be synchronous speed. After ensuring the speed to be synchronous, we can note this terminal voltage, that is E0 no load induced EMF. Once we got E0 and V, we can calculate voltage regulation by means of this equation. Now let's see the equivalent circuit of the alternator in general. So this equivalent circuit represents three-phase equivalent circuit of the alternator under no load case. Under no load case, there won't be armature reaction, so there won't be XA in no load case equivalent circuit. This is the load case equivalent circuit. In load case equivalent circuit, armature reaction will be there, so XA will be there in equivalent circuit. This is the loaded case equivalent circuit corresponding to single phase manner. Here, E0 is no load induced EMF per phase. This is total impedance of the machine, which is termed as synchronous impedance ZS. The total reactance of the machine, that is XL and XA, is termed as synchronous reactance. So synchronous impedance is equal to Ra plus Jxs. So from this equivalent circuit, applying KVL, we can write the expression as E0 is equal to V plus I into Zs. Now let's see how to calculate voltage regulation of an alternator. Basically, we can have two methods in order to find out voltage regulation of an alternator. One is direct method and second one is indirect method. In direct method, we are running the machine at its rated condition, means we are running the machine at synchronous speed, generate rated voltage and deliver rated current. After that, we need to measure the voltage that gives rated voltage V. Then, without altering the field excitation, we need to turn off the load switch. Ultimately, speed get increased. We need to maintain speed by adjusting the field of the prime mover motor. Then, we need to measure the terminal voltage under this condition that gives E0. Once we got E0 and V, we can calculate voltage regulation. Direct method is suitable for low capacity machine, usually less than 5 kVA, where voltage and current ratings are less. Moreover, in this case, the requirement of loading arrangement is small. As the capacity of the machine increases, voltage and current rating will increase. Loading arrangement also will become bulky. As voltage and current rating increases, when we are suddenly thrown off the load switch, sparking will come into picture and heating loss will be there. Moreover, as voltage and current ratings are more, in order to measure voltage and current, we need high rating equipments, voltmeter and ammeters. Therefore, it is not economical to calculate voltage regulation of alternator using direct method. In that case, for high capacity machine, we will prefer predetermination method, that is indirect method. We can have four indirect method. First one is EMF or synchronous impedance method. Second one is EMMF or ampere turn method. Third one is ZPF or Pottier method. And fourth one is American Standard Association method. In EMF method, synchronous reactance is assumed to be an EMF concept. In MMF method, synchronous reactance is assumed to be an MMF concept. In ZPF method, we are separating the components of synchronous reactance as EMF part as it is and MMF part as it is. That is, XL is treated as EMF concept and XA is treated as EMMF concept in ZPF method. Usually, For turbo alternator, ZPF method is preferable. For salient pole machine, ZPF method gives more error. Therefore, ASA method is preferable for salient pole machine. In these three methods, we are not considering the saturation effect of magnetic circuit. In ASA method, we are considering the saturation effect of magnetic circuit. So usually we are preferring ZPF and ASA method for finding our voltage regulation of alternators. Coming to EMF method, we know synchronous reactance is XS, which is equal to XL plus XA. In EMF method, XA is also considered as an additional leakage reactance. So XS is treated as fully an EMF concept. Therefore, this method is termed as EMF method. Before going to the step to be followed in EMF method, let's derive the expression for no-load induced EMF with the help of phasor diagram for lagging and leading power factor condition. First of all, let's consider lagging power factor case. V is taken as reference. Armature current I is lagging V by an angle phi. I into RA phasor is drawn from the tip of V, which is parallel to I. Then I into XS phasor is drawn from the tip of I into RA, which is leading I by 90 degree. Then we need to join O and C. That gives no load induced EMF E0. Angle between E0 and V is delta. Angle between E0 and I is phi plus delta. Now let's create two right angle triangles in order to derive the expression for E0. Extending I up to G, then join B and G, which forms a right angle triangle OGC. Then from the tip of A, that is from the tip of V, we can draw a parallel line to BG that will meet at OG at point D. Now we can have two right angle triangle ODA and OGC. Now let's draw the phasor diagram corresponding to leading power factor case. Similar to lagging power factor, V is taken as reference. I is leading V by power factor angle phi. I into RA drawn parallel to I from the tip of V. I into XS, which is drawn from the tip of I into RA phasor, which is leading I by an angle 90 degree. Now join O and C, that gives E0. Angle between E0 and V is delta, load angle or power angle. Angle between E0 and I is, here also we can create two right angle triangle similar to lagging case. For that, extend I up to G, then extend B and C towards G, forms a right angle triangle OGC. Then from the tip of V, that is at point A, draw a parallel lines which is parallel to BG, which will meet at OG line at point D. Now we can have two right angle triangles similar to lagging case, that is OGC and OPA. Now let's consider the derivation for lagging power factor case. Consider right angle triangles OGC and ODA. From this second triangle, that is triangle ODA, the hypotenuse is voltage. Angle between V and I is phi. Therefore, AD is equal to V sin phi and OD is equal to V cos phi. We need to find out OC, which is equal to E0. So E0 is equal to root of OG square plus GC square. What is OG? This part is V cos phi and this part is I into RA. So OG is equal to V cos phi plus DG, that is I into RA. GC is, this part is V sin phi and this part is I into XS. Substituting all these things, E0 is obtained as root of V cos phi plus I into RA whole square plus V sin phi plus I into XS whole square. So from this phasor diagram, we can also find out phi plus delta. Phi plus delta is equal to tan inverse GC by OG. That is, phi plus delta is equal to tan inverse V sin phi plus I into XS all divided by V cos phi plus I into RA. Coming to leading power factor case, let's consider the same triangle OGC and ODA. From triangle ODA, hypotenuse is V, angle between OD and OA is phi. Therefore, OD is equal to V cos phi and AD is equal to V sin phi. Since AD is equal to V sin phi, GB is also is equal to V sin. Then we need to calculate GC. What is GC? GC is equal to V sin phi minus I into XS. So we need to calculate E0, that is OC square is equal to OG square plus GC square. Substituting, we can obtain E0 as root of V cos phi plus I into Ra all square plus V sin phi minus I into Xs all square. So in general, we can write the expression for E0 as root of V cos phi plus I into Ra all square plus V sin phi plus or minus I into Xs all square, plus for lagging power factor and minus for leading power factor case. So from this phasor diagram of leading power factor, angle phi minus delta is obtained as tan inverse V sin phi minus I into Xs divided by V cos phi plus I into Ra. It is to be noted that for lagging case, E0 is more than the terminal voltage. Therefore, the machine is termed as over-excited condition. Similarly, for leading power factor condition, we can see that E0 is less than V. Therefore, the machine is termed as under-excited condition. In order to calculate voltage regulation using EMF method, we need to conduct 3 tests on the given machine. First one is no load characteristics, then short circuit characteristics, then we need to measure armature resistance of the machine. No load characteristics gives the variation of no load induced EMF with respect to variation of field current at rated speed. In short circuit test, we are shorting the armature windings, and by adjusting field current, we are circulating rated armature current while keeping speed of the machine constant, that is at synchronous speed. After getting all these parameters, first of all, let's plot open circuit and short circuit characteristics. Then we need to obtain synchronous impedance using VOC and ISC corresponding to same field current. In this method, we are mainly focusing on calculation of synchronous impedance. Therefore, this method is termed as synchronous impedance method. After getting synchronous impedance, we can measure armature resistance. If we got armature resistance and synchronous impedance, we can calculate synchronous reactance. Then we can calculate E0. E0 can be calculated by means of the general expression V plus I into Zs, or by means of the expression which we derived from the phasor diagram. Then after getting E0, we can calculate voltage regulation by means of this equation. This is the procedure which we are using in the case of EMF method. Now let's see the method in detail in graphical manner. In EMF method, first of all, we need to plot open circuit characteristic. It is the variation of no load induced EMF with respect to field current corresponding to rated speed. Then we need to plot short circuit characteristic. It is the variation of armature current with respect to field current under short circuit condition. It is a straight line passing through origin. This is open circuit characteristic and this is short circuit characteristics. Then corresponding to rated armature current, we need to draw a line which is parallel to x-axis, which will meet at short circuit characteristic, and corresponding field current we need to note, that is field current to circulate rated armature current. Then we need to extend this line, field current line, upward so as it will meet at OCC. That gives open circuit voltage corresponding to the same field current, that is field current corresponding to rated armature current. Once we got open circuit voltage and short circuit current, we can calculate synchronous impedance. Synchronous impedance is equal to VOC by ISC for same field current. Then by means of this expression or the expression which we derived using phasor diagram, we can calculate E0, hence voltage regulation. Similar to rated armature current, we can calculate the synchronous impedance corresponding to rated voltage also. First of all, we need to plot open circuit characteristics. Then we need to plot short circuit characteristics. Then corresponding to rated voltage, draw a line parallel to x-axis which will meet at OCC. Then note the field current to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. This is the field current to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. Corresponding to the same field current, what is short circuit current? This is the short circuit current. Please note that short circuit current. Now we can have one open circuit voltage and short circuit current corresponding to same field excitation. Now we can find out synchronous impedance by means of this equation, and we can calculate E0 and voltage regulation like this. The value of synchronous impedance depends on saturation level. For lower saturation, synchronous impedance will be more, and for higher saturation, synchronous impedance will be low. So when we are drawing air gap line, we can see that up to this portion OCC is linear. As OCC is linear, the ratio between VOC and ISC will be constant. When we are considering armature reaction, for lower saturation, armature reaction will be more. If armature reaction is more, fictitious reactants that represent armature reaction will be more. XA will be more. As XA is more, synchronous reactance and thereby synchronous impedance will be more. Up to this linear portion, synchronous impedance is constant. After that, synchronous impedance start reducing. For higher saturation, synchronous impedance is very low. After this linear portion, voltage deviation, OCC voltage deviation is less compared to short circuit current deviation. Therefore, synchronous impedance is decreasing. And during this portion, OCC voltage, the deviation of open circuit voltage is very low compared to the deviation of short circuit current. Therefore, synchronous impedance is low during higher saturation. Actually, synchronous impedance lies somewhere here. So, using EMF method, we can obtain synchronous impedance more than that of the actual. Therefore, I into Zs drop will be more. If I into Zs drop is more, voltage regulation calculated by means of EMF method will be more than that of the actual. Therefore, this method is termed as pessimistic method. Coming to problems in EMF method. First problem is a three-phase star-connected alternator is rated at 1600 kVA, 13,500 volt. The armature resistance and synchronous reactances are given as 1.5 ohm and 30 ohm respectively per phase. We need to calculate the percentage voltage regulation for a load of 1280 kilowatt at 0.8 power factor lagging, 0.8 power factor leading, and at UPF. Also, in each case, we need to draw the phasor diagrams. Coming to first case, that is 0.8 power factor lagging, the given values are line voltages, that is 13,500 volt, that we need to convert into phase, and it is coming as 7, 7, and 4.23 volt. This load kVA, 1280 kilowatt, we need to convert that into kVA, divide the kilowatt value by power factor gives kVA, and it is coming as 1600 kVA. So based on kVA and line voltages, we can calculate current, and current is coming as 68.43 ampere. And from question, armature resistance per phase and synchronous reactance per phases are given as 1.5 ohm and 30 ohm respectively. As power factor is 0.8, sin phi is equal to 0.6. We know the expression for E0 as the root of V cos phi plus I into Ra whole square plus V sin phi plus I into Xs whole square. Substituting all these values in this equation, we can obtain E0 as no load induced EMF as 9244.24 volt. Substituting E0 and V in voltage regulation equation, we can obtain voltage regulation as 18.60%. Now let's draw the phasor diagram corresponding to 0.8 power factor lagging. Phase voltage is taken as reference. Armature current, that is 68.43 ampere, is lagging voltage by a power factor angle 36.86 degree. In order to obtain E0, we need to add different drops with V phase. First drop is I into Ra drops, that is in phase with armature current I. So from the tip of V phase, we need to draw a phasor I into Ra phasor which is in parallel with I. That value is coming around 102.65 volt. Then we need to consider I into Xs drop. I into Xs drop is leading armature current by 90 degree. So this is I into Xs phasor which is coming around 2052.9 volt. Now by joining this point and this point, that phasor gives E0. E0 is no load induced EMF and it is coming as 9244.24. This is the angle between E0 and V, that is load angle or power angle. Angle between E0 and I is phi plus delta. We have the equation for E0 as this one. From this phasor diagram, we can derive the expression for phi plus delta as tan inverse V sin phi plus I into Xs divided by V cos phi plus I into Ra. Substituting the value of voltage, sin phi, Xs, Ra and cos phi in this equation, we can obtain phi plus delta as 46.71 degree. Now, from this equation, we know phi is 36.86. So, from this expression, we can calculate delta as 9.84 degree. So, this is the phasor diagram corresponding to lagging power factor condition. Now, let's see zero point 0.8 power factor leading case. As earlier, line voltage need to be converted into phase value. Load kVA is exactly same. Armature resistance and synchronous reactance, cos phi, sin phi, everything is same as that of zero point 0.8 power factor lagging case. Expression here it become negative. E0 is obtained by means of this expression as 6860 volt. And substituting values in the expression for voltage regulation is obtained as minus 11.99 percentage, that is around minus 12 percentage. Now let's see the phasor diagram of leading power factor. Similar to lagging case, voltage is taken as reference. Current I, which is equal to 68.43 ampere, is leading voltage by power factor angle 36.86 degree. Then we need to consider I into RA drop, that is drawn from the tip of V phase, which is parallel to I. Then we need to consider I into XS drop, which is leading I by 90 degree, that is drawn from the tip of I into RA phasor. Now this gives E0. E0 is coming as 6860 volt. We know the angle between E0 and V phase is delta, load angle or power angle. Angle between E0 and I is phi minus delta. Now we know the expression for E0 as root of V cos phi plus I into RA whole square plus V sin phi minus I into XS whole square. From this phasor diagram, we can derive the expression for phi minus delta as tan inverse V sin phi minus I into XS divided by V cos phi plus I into RA. Substituting all the values in this expression, we can obtain phi minus delta as 22.5 degree. As we know, phi is 36.86 degree. From this expression itself, we can calculate load angle or power angle delta, that is coming around 14.4 degree. So this is the phasor diagram corresponding to leading power factor case. Now let's consider unity power factor condition. Line value of voltage and phase value won't change. Since the power factor is unity, load kVA will change and it is coming as 1280 kVA. So armature current also will change. Armature current is coming as 54.74 ampere. Armature resistance and synchronous reactance is same as 1.5 ohm and 30 ohm respectively. Cos phi is 1, therefore sin phi is equal to 0. Substituting these values in this expression, we can obtain E0 as 8045.72 volt. Substituting E0 and V in the expression for voltage regulation is obtained as 3.23 percentage. Coming to the phasor diagram corresponding to unity power factor condition, V phase is taken as reference. Armature current I is in phase with voltage. We need to consider drops, that is I into RA drop is drawn in parallel with I, that is drawn from the tip of V phase, and from the tip of I into RA phasor we need to draw phasor I into XS, which is leading I by 90 degree. Now joining this gives E0. E0 is coming around 8045.72 volt. Angle between E0 and V phase is load angle or power angle delta. So from this phasor diagram, we can derive the expression for delta as tan inverse I into XS divided by V plus I into RA. Substituting the different values in this expression, delta is obtained as 11.78 degree. This is the phasor diagram corresponding to unity power factor case. Second problem is, in a 50 kVA star connector 440 volt 3-phase 50 Hz alternator, the armature resistance is 0.25 ohm per phase, the synchronous reactance is 3.2 ohm per phase, and leakage reactance is 0.5 ohm per phase. Determine the following at rated load and unity power factor. We need to calculate internal EMF EA, second no load induced EMF E0, the voltage regulation at full load, and 4. The value of synchronous reactance that represent armature reaction effect. Coming to solution, the power rating of the machine is 50 kVA and it is star connector. The line voltage is 440 volt that we need to convert into phase value and it is coming as 254 volt. And the power factor of operation is unity power factor. So based on line value and kVA rating, we can calculate rated current. And rated current is, armature current is coming as 65.6 ampere. Here, armature resistance per phase is 0.25, leakage reactance is 0.5 ohm and synchronous reactance is 3.2 ohm. So this is the phasor diagram corresponding to this condition. So voltage is taken as reference. Current is in phase with voltage. From that we need to add I into RA drop, which is in phase with I. Then we need to consider I into XL drop, which is leading I by 90 degree. From the tip of I into XL drop, we need to consider I into XA. XA stands for armature fictitious reactance that represent armature reaction effect. So from the tip of I into XL, we need to draw a phasor which is again leading I by 90 degree. And considering XL and XA, that gives E0. Here, I into RA and I into XL are actual voltage drops, but actually I into XA represents armature reaction effect. It is actually an MMF phasor, but in EMF method, armature reaction reactance is treated as additional leakage reactance. So I into XA is a phasor that represents voltage drop in the case of EMF method. So considering this voltage phasor and MMF phasor, the final phasor is E0. So please note voltage, this voltage phasor plus I into RA phasor plus I into XL phasor, that resultant gives internal induced EMF EA. If you are considering voltage phasor with all the drops, voltage drops and MMF, that gives no load induced EMF E0. So from this phasor diagram, first case, if you are suppose we are going to find out the expression for EA, EA is equal to root of V plus I into RA whole square plus I into XL whole square. Substituting the values, different values in this expression, EA is obtained as 272 volt. Then the expression for E0 is obtained as root of V plus I into RA whole square plus I into XS whole square. So substituting all these values in this expression, no load induced EMF, that is second part, is obtained at 342 volt. Now we have E0 and V phase, we can calculate voltage regulation. Substituting E0 and V phase in this expression, we can obtain voltage regulation as 34.6%. Fourth parameter which we need to find out is the value of synchronous reactance that represent armature reaction effect. As we know, synchronous reactance is the total reactance of the machine, which include fictitious reactance plus leakage reactance. So the fictitious reactance that represent armature reaction is obtained by means of this expression, XS minus XL, and it is obtained as 2.7 ohm. Coming to third problem, determine the regulation of a 2 kV single phase alternator delivering a full load current of 100 ampere at 0.8 power factor leading based on the following test results. Test results are: field current required to circulate full load current under short circuit test is 2.5 ampere. The open circuit voltage produced corresponding to same field excitation is 500 volt. Armature resistance is 0.8 ohm. So coming to the solution, armature resistance Ra is equal to 0.8 ohm. V rated is 2 kV, that is 2000 volt. I rated is 100 ampere. So from EMF method, synchronous impedance is equal to VOC by ISC for same field current. Here we know corresponding to say field current 2.5 ampere, open circuit voltage is 500 volt and short circuit current is 100 ampere. Therefore synchronous impedance is obtained as 5 ohm. So synchronous reactance X is equal to root of ZS square minus RA square, which is obtained as 4.936 ohm. At 0.8 power factor leading, cos phi is equal to 0.8 and sin phi is equal to 0.6. Substituting all these values in the expression for E0 corresponding to leading power factor, E0 is obtained as 1822 volt. So the voltage regulation using this expression is obtained as minus 8.9%. Coming to the fourth problem, a three-phase star-connected 5 kVA for 100 volt 50 Hz 4-pole alternator has the following test result at its rated speed. This is the field current and this is open circuit voltage in phase values, and this is line value of the short circuit current. As it is star connected, line value is equal to phase value. Here we need to draw open circuit and short circuit characteristic and determine unsaturated value of synchronous reactance per phase in ohmic value as well as per unit value. Then we need to determine full load voltage regulation at 0.8 power factor lag and lead by EMF method. All these cases, we need to draw the relevant phasor diagrams. Here, we need to assume armature resistance per phase as 2 ohm per phase. Coming to solution, here rated voltage is 400 volt, that is line value, that we need to convert into phase value, and phase value is obtained as 231 volt. The power rating of the machine is 5 kVA. So based on 5 kVA and line value of the voltage, we can calculate I rated, and I rated is obtained as 7.217 ampere. So the first part of the problem, draw OC and SC characteristic and determine unsaturated value of synchronous reactance per phase in ohm and per unit. After fixing the suitable scale for x-axis and y-axis, we can draw OCC and SCC like this. Here, for field current, that is x-axis, one division is taken as 1 ampere, and for y1 axis, that is open circuit voltage, one division is taken as 50 volt, and y2 axis, that is for armature current, one division is taken as 4 ampere. So corresponding to same field current, here corresponding to 1 ampere, open circuit voltage is obtained as 140 volt and short circuit current is obtained as 3.6 ampere. Substituting these VOC and IAC in the expression for synchronous impedance, we can obtain synchronous impedance as 38.88 ohm. Armature resistance per phase RA is given as 2 ohm. For synchronous reactance per phase, XS is equal to root of ZS square minus RA square. Substituting these values, XS is obtained as 38.84 ohm. Next, we need to convert the actual value into per unit value. So, per unit value of synchronous reactance is obtained as I into XS by V phase. Substituting all the values, the per unit value of synchronous reactance is obtained as 1.213 per unit. Then second part of the problem is determine full load voltage regulation and 0.8 power factor lag and lead by EMF method. Let's see lagging case first. 0.8 power factor means cos phi is equal to 0.8, sin phi is equal to 0.6. Corresponding to lagging case, this is the expression for no load induced EMF. Substituting all these values in this expression, we can obtain E0 as 463.88 volt. Then substituting E0 and V rated in the expression for voltage regulation is obtained as 100.83%. Coming to the phasor diagram corresponding to lagging power factor case, V is taken as reference, that is 231 volt. Current I, that is 7.217 ampere, is lagging voltage by a power factor angle 36.86 degree. We need to consider I into RA drops, that is in phase with I, that is coming around 14.434 volt. Then I into XS drops, that is coming around 280.30 volt, which is leading I by 90 degree, and this is E0. Angle between E0 and V is load angle or delta. Angle between E0 and I is phi plus delta, and it is obtained from this expression. Substituting all these value, phi plus delta is obtained as 64.56 degree. Then we can obtain delta as 27.69 degree. Coming to leading power factor condition. E0 is no load induced EMF, which can be calculated by means of this expression. Substituting all the given parameters, E0 is obtained as 244.5 volt. Substituting E0 and V, the expression for voltage regulation is obtained as 5.84%. The angle between E0 and I, that is obtained by means of this expression, phi minus delta. Substituting the parameters, phi minus delta is obtained as minus 35.42 degree. So from this delta, load angle delta is obtained as 72.3 degree. Now let's see the phasor diagram. Voltage is taken as reference. Armature current I is leading voltage by a power factor angle 36.86 degree. I into RA phasor is drawn from the tip of V phase, which is parallel to I, and I into XS drop is drawn from the tip of I into RA phasor, which is leading I by 90 degree, joining. This is E0. Angle between E0 and V phase is delta. Angle between I and E0 is phi minus delta, and it is obtained as minus 35.42 degree. Then delta is obtained as 72.3 degree. Next, we can discuss about EMMF method. EMMF method is also known as Ampere turn method or Ruther's EMMF method. EMMF method is just a converse of EMF method. In EMF method, out of total synchronous reactance, armature reaction reactance is treated as additional leakage reactance. But in EMMF method, leakage reactance is treated as additional armature reaction reactance. and the voltage regulation obtained by means of MMF method is less than that of actual. Therefore, MMF method is known as optimistic method. The total field current or MMF required for an alternator comprises two parts. The first part is the field current responsible to generate rated terminal voltage under open circuit condition, that is IF1, which is obtained from open circuit characteristics. So corresponding to V rated under open circuit condition, how much field current is required, that is IF1. Then second part is the field current responsible to compensate armature reaction effect, that is IF2, which is obtained from short circuit characteristics. So corresponding to I rated under short circuit condition, how much field current is required, that is IF2. We know in the case of equivalent circuit of an alternator, the total impedance comprises leakage reactance, armature reaction reactance and armature resistance per phase. The value of leakage reactance and armature resistance are very low. So if we are neglecting these values, that is leakage reactance and armature resistance in the equivalent circuit, the current is flowing through a pure inductive coil, that is fictitious armature reaction reactance. So under this situation, the current is lagging voltage by 90 degree. So the power factor of operation under this condition is 0 power factor lagging. Thus armature reaction effect is fully demagnetization. So IF2 indicate the field MMF or current that is used to compensate demagnetizing effect of armature reaction. So under any loaded condition, in order to generate rated terminal voltage, the required field current is the vector sum of IF1 and IF2. Once we got the resultant field current IFR, which is the vector sum of IF1 and IF2, we can obtain no load induced EMF from OCC. This is the basic concept of MMF method to find out voltage regulation for any operating condition. Now let's discuss the theory of MMF method at different power factor of operation. First of all, 0 power factor lagging, then 0 power factor leading, then at unity power factor, then general scenario. Now let's consider the theory of MMF method under 0 power factor lagging case. The field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition is IF1 and can be represented by a phasor OA. And the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition is IF2 and can be represented by O-B. As load current increases due to demagnetization effect of armature reaction, net flux is getting decreased. So in order to maintain constant flux under full load condition, we need to provide an additional flux by means of IF2. So IF2 is in same direction as that of IF1. So at 0 power factor lagging, armature reaction is having demagnetization effect, thus net MMF or net flux get reduces. So terminal voltage also get reduced. So in order to generate rated voltage at 0 power factor lagging, an additional MMF or field current IF2 is required to compensate demagnetization effect of armature reaction. Thus, net flux or MMF required to generate rated voltage at 0 power factor lagging is the vector sum of OA and O-B. So this is the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. This is the induced EMF. As the power factor of operation is 0 power factor lagging, IF2 is lagging EMF by 90 degree. Then resultant field current is the vector sum of OA and O-B. So OB indicate resultant field current IFR. It can be seen that the magnitude of OB phasor is greater than that of the magnitude of the field current which is required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. Coming to 0 power factor leading, field current required to generate rated voltage at open circuit condition, that is IF1, is represented by the phasor OA. The field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition is IF2 and it can be represented by the phasor O-B. At 0 power factor leading, armature reaction is having magnetization effect. So as load current increases, net MMF and hence the terminal voltage get increases. So as load current increases, an additional flux is generated by means of armature reaction. So under loaded condition, this much flux is not required. So IF2 is required to compensate magnetization effect of armature reaction under zero power factor leading. Thus, net field current required to generate rated voltage at zero power factor leading is the vector difference of OA and O-B. This is the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition, and this is the induced EMF. Since the power factor of operation is zero power factor leading, IF2 is leading EMF by 90 degree. So the resultant field current is OB, which is the vector difference between OA and O-B. The magnitude of the resultant field current IFR, which is OB phasor, is less than the magnitude of the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. So coming to unity power factor condition, the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition is IF1, which is represented by OA phasor. The field current required to circulate rated current under short circuit condition, that is IF2, which is represented by O-B phasor. Under unity power factor condition, armature reaction is having cross magnetization effect. It distorts the main flux. IF1 and IF2 are at right angle to each other. So in order to compensate cross magnetization effect of armature reaction, IF2 is required. So the net field current required to generate rated voltage under unity power factor condition is the vector sum of OA and O-B as shown in figure. This is the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition. This is the induced EMF. As the power factor of operation is unity power factor condition, the IF2 phasor is in phase with induced EMF. So the resultant field current is the vector sum of OA and O-B. This is the resultant field current OB. Coming to the general case, this is the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition, that is OA phasor. Then this is the induced EMF. Coming to the zero power factor lagging case, IF2 is lagging EMF by 90 degree. So this is the resultant field current IFR at zero power factor lagging. Then under unity power factor phasor, IF2 is in phase with the induced EMF. So the resultant field current under unity power factor condition is the vector sum of OA and OB. So this is the resultant field current at UPF condition. Then coming to zero power factor leading case, IF2 is leading EMF by 90 degree. So this is IF2. So the vector sum of OA and O-B, that is IF2, gives IFR. So here it can be seen that under zero power factor lagging, IFR is greater than IF1. At zero power factor leading, IFR is less than IF1. Based on this diagram, we can see that depending on the power factor of operation, the resultant field current phasor, that is OB phasor, travels along a semicircle with radius IF2 from left to right. So this is the semicircle having radius IF2. So depending on the power factor of operation, this OB phasor travels along this semicircle. So corresponding to right of unity power factor line indicate lagging power factor of operation, and corresponding to left of unity power factor line indicate leading power factor of operation. So under lagging power factor of operation, IF2 lies in this quadrant. Say IF2 is this one. This is the power factor angle phi. So under lagging power factor of operation, the angle between IF1, that is OA phasor, and O-B phasor is 90 plus phi. Vector sum of OA and AB gives the resultant field current under lagging power factor condition. Now, if the power factor of operation is leading, the field current IF2 lies in this quadrant and the power factor angle is phi. The angle between IF1 and IF2 is 90 minus phi, and vector sum of IF1 and IF2 gives the resultant field current IFR. Coming to the step to be followed in MMM method, so here we need to perform 3 tests on the given machine. One is open circuit characteristics, second one is short circuit characteristics, and we need to calculate synchronous reactance of the machine. The first step is plot open circuit and short circuit characteristics characteristics. Second step is to calculate E dash, which is equal to V plus I into Ra cos phi. And third step is to find out the field current corresponding to E dash from open circuit characteristics. That is the field current to generate E dash under open circuit condition. Then fourth step is obtain field current IF2 corresponding to rated armature current from short circuit characteristics. That is the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. Once we got IF1 and IF2, we can calculate the resultant field current using this expression. IFR is equal to root of IF1 square plus IF2 square plus or minus 2 IF1 IF2 sin phi plus 4 lagging power factor and minus 4 leading power factor. Once we got IFR corresponding to IFR, we need to note E0 from OCC. After getting E0, we can calculate percentage voltage regulation by means of this equation. Let's see these steps in graphical manner. Corresponding to lagging power factor condition, first of all we need to plot open circuit characteristics, then we need to plot short circuit characteristics, then we need to calculate E dash, which is equal to V plus I into Ra cos phi. After calculating E dash, we need to draw a line parallel to x-axis which will meet at OCC, proceed downwards. That gives the field current required to generate E dash under open circuit condition. Then corresponding to rated armature current, proceed a line parallel to x-axis which will meet at short circuit characteristics. Then proceed downward from this meeting point. That gives IF2, that is field current to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. So after obtaining IF1 and IF2, we need to find out the resultant field current. This is IF1 and this is IF2. The angle between IF1 and IF2 is 90 plus phi, and this is the resultant field current. So this part is IF1 and this part is IF2 sin phi and this part is IF2 cos phi. So IFR is equal to root of IF1 plus IF2 sin phi all square plus IF2 cos phi all square. Simplifying, IFR become root of IF1 square plus IF2 square plus 2 IF1 IF2 sin phi. Once we got IFR, mark that IFR on x-axis, proceed a line parallel to y-axis which will meet at OCC, and corresponding voltage we need to measure. That voltage gives E0. Once we got E0, we can calculate voltage regulation. Coming to unity power factor condition, first of all we need to plot open circuit characteristics, then we need to plot short circuit characteristics, then we need to calculate E dash, which is equal to V plus IRA, then proceed a line parallel to x-axis from E dash which will meet at OCC, proceed downward. That gives the field current required to generate E dash under open circuit condition. Then corresponding to rated armature current, we need to proceed a line parallel to x-axis which will meet at SCC. Note that the field current, that is the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. After getting IF1 and IF2, we can draw the phasor diagram. This is IF1 and IF2, and angle between IF1 and IF2 is 90 degree, and this is the resultant field current. From this phasor diagram, you can see that IFR is equal to root of IF1 square plus IF2 square. Once we got IFR, mark that IFR on x-axis, proceed a line parallel to y-axis which will meet at OCC, and measure E0 corresponding to that meeting point. That gives E0. Now let's consider leading power factor condition. First of all, we need to plot open circuit characteristics, then short circuit characteristics, then we need to calculate E dash, and corresponding to E dash we need to note IF1, that is the field current required to generate E dash under open circuit condition. Then we need to measure IF2, that is the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. After obtaining IF1 and IF2, we need to draw the phasor diagram. This is IF1 phasor, this is IF2 phasor. If you are drawing a vertical line from IF1 like this, and this angle phi indicate the power factor angle. So the angle between IF1 and IF2 under this case is 90 minus phi. This gives resultant field current. Now from the tip of IFR phasor, draw a line which is perpendicular to IF1 phasor. This angle is 90 degree, which forms a right angle triangle like this, where IF2 is its hypotenuse. As this angle is phi, this angle is also equal to phi. So this portion become IF2 sin phi, and this portion become IF2 cos phi. This part is IF1. Now IFR is equal to root of IF1 minus IF2 sin phi all square plus IF2 cos phi all square. After simplifying, IFR becomes root of IF1 square plus IF2 square minus 2 IF1 IF2 sin phi. After getting IFR, we can mark that in x-axis, proceed a line so as to meet at OCC, that gives E0. Once we got E0, we can calculate voltage regulation. Coming to the problems in MMF method, the excitation required to generate rated voltage under OCC and to circulate rated current under SCC of an alternator are 100 ampere and 80 ampere respectively. Determine the approximate excitation required to circulate full load current and to generate rated terminal voltage at 0.8 power factor lagging load. Coming to solution, here in this question it is clear that the field current required to generate rated voltage under open circuit condition, that is IF1, is 100 ampere. Then the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition is IF2, that is given as 80 ampere, and the power factor of operation is 0.8 power factor lagging. So this is the phasor diagram corresponding to this one. We need to determine IFR. So IFR is equal to root of IF1 square plus IF2 square plus 2 IF1 IF2 sin phi. Substituting IF1 and IF2 and sin phi in this equation, we can obtain IFR as 161.25 ampere. Coming to the next problem, the open circuit test data for a 3-phase 3.5 MVA 4.16 kV 50 Hz star connected synchronous generator are given below. This is the field current and this is the line value of open circuit voltage given in kilovolts. A field current of 200 ampere is found necessary to circulate full load current on short circuit of the alternator. The machine supplies full load at a power factor of 0.8 lagging. Determine its voltage regulation by EMF and MMF method. Neglect armature resistance. So from this problem, it is clear that a field current of 200 ampere is required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. That is, IF2 is directly given as 200 ampere. Coming to the solution, the line value of the voltage is given as 4.16 kV, that is to be converted into phase value, and the phase value is obtained as 2401.78 volt. From the power rating and line value of the voltage, we can calculate the rated armature current as 485.75 ampere. As power factor is 0.8, sin phi is equal to 0.6. This is open circuit and short circuit data. Here we need to convert line value into phase value. So this is field current and this is phase value of the open circuit voltage, and this is the short circuit armature current. So from this table it is clear that corresponding to 200 ampere field current, open circuit voltage is 2742.41 and short circuit current is 485.7514 ampere. Coming to EMF method, first of all we need to find out synchronous impedance. Synchronous impedance is the ratio of open circuit voltage to short circuit current corresponding to same field current. So corresponding to 200 ampere, substituting this voltage and this current, synchronous impedance is obtained as 5.6457 ohm. As RA is 0, ZS is equal to XS. Substituting all the values in the expression for finding out no load induced EMF, no load induced EMF E0 is obtained as 4603.625 volt. Substituting E0 and V in the expression for voltage regulation corresponding to 0.8 power factor lagging is obtained as 91.68%. Coming to MMF method, after selecting suitable scale to X and Y axis, we need to plot open circuit and short circuit characteristics. Here X axis, that is field current, one division is taken as 50 ampere, and Y1 axis, that is open circuit voltage, one division is taken as 500 volt, and Y2 axis, that is short circuit armature current, one division is taken as rated current itself, that is 485.75 ampere. Then after plotting OCC and short circuit characteristics, we need to calculate E dash using this expression V plus I into RA cos phi, and E dash is obtained as 2401.78 volt. Then corresponding to E dash, we need to find out IF1 from OCC. IF1 is obtained
obtained as 150 ampere. Then we need to find out IF2, that is already given as 200 ampere, that is the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition. So IF1 is 150 ampere and IF2 is 200 ampere. Substituting IF1 and IF2 in the expression for resultant field current is obtained as 313.85 ampere. Then we need to mark 313.85 ampere on x-axis, proceed upward parallel to y-axis, which will meet at OCC, and corresponding no load induced EMF we need to measure. That gives E0. Here E0 is obtained as 3127 volt. After obtaining E0, we need to substitute E0 and V in this expression in order to find out voltage regulation. Voltage regulation is obtained as 30.20%. Next problem is a 30 kVA 440 volt 50 Hz 3-phase star connected alternator has the following test results. This is the open circuit and short circuit test parameters. This is field current, this is no load EMF in line value, and this is the short circuit armature current. Effective resistance between any two terminal is 1 ohm. We need to determine the voltage regulation using EMF and MMF method at full load and 3/4 full load corresponding to 0.8 power factor lag, 0.8 power factor lead and unity power factor conditions. Here it is given that effective resistance between any two terminal is 1 ohm. That means effective resistance per phase is 1/2, that is 0.5 ohm. Coming to the solution, here line value of the voltage is 440 volt that need to convert into phase value. The phase value is obtained as 254.03 volt and power rating is given as 30 kVA. So from power rating and the line value of the voltage, we can calculate rated armature current as 39.36 ampere. This is the open circuit and short circuit data after converting no load induced EMF from line value to phase value. First of all, let's solve the problem using EMF method. So first case is full load 0.8 power factor lag. We need to calculate synchronous impedance. Synchronous impedance is VOC by ISC for the same field current. Here corresponding to 7 ampere field current, open circuit voltage is 254.03 and short circuit current is 40 ampere. Substituting these values in synchronous impedance equation, we can obtain synchronous impedance as 6.35 ohm. Then synchronous reactance is root of ZS square minus RA square. Substituting ZS as 6.35 and RA as 0.5 ohm per phase, XA is obtained as 6.33 ohm. Then substituting all these values in this equation to find out no load induced EMF. No load induced EMF is obtained as 459.28 volt. Substituting these values in the equation for voltage regulation is obtained as 80.80%. Then EMF method, full load leading power factor. This is the expression to find out no load induced EMF under leading power factor condition. Substituting all the parameters, we can obtain E0 as 242.99 volt. Substituting E0 and V in this equation, voltage regulation is obtained as minus 4.35%. Next, EMF method, full load unity power factor. So this is the expression to find out no load induced EMF under unity power factor condition. Substituting different parameters, E0 is obtained as 370.12 volt. Substituting E0 and V, we can obtain voltage regulation as 45.70%. Now let's see MMF method, full load 0.8 power factor lag. After suitably selecting the scale, we need to draw open circuit and short circuit characteristics. Here x-axis, one division is taken as 2 ampere and y1 axis, that is no load induced EMF, one division is taken as 25 volt and y2 axis, one division is taken as 20 ampere. So after plotting OCC and SCC, we need to calculate E dash using this expression V plus I into RA cos phi. Substituting all these values in this expression, E dash is obtained as 269.77 volt. Then corresponding to 269.77 volt, we need to measure IF1 from OCC and IF1 is obtained as 7.75 ampere. Then we need to measure the field current required to circulate rated armature current under short circuit condition, and IF2 is obtained as 6.91 ampere. Substituting IF1 and IF2 in this expression to find out resultant field current is obtained as 13.12 ampere. Corresponding to 13.12 ampere, open circuit voltage is obtained as 337.10 volt. Substituting E0 and V in this expression, voltage regulation is obtained as 32.70%. Coming to MMF method, 0.8 power factor lead. After plotting OCC and short circuit characteristics, we need to determine E dash, and E dash is obtained as 269.77 volt, and the field current corresponding to E dash under OCC, that is IF1, is obtained as 7.75 ampere and IF2 is obtained as 6.91 ampere. Substituting IF1 and IF2 in this expression to find out resultant field current is obtained as 6.60 corresponding to 0.8 power factor leading condition. Then corresponding to 6.60 resultant field current, open circuit voltage is obtained as 244.70 and corresponding voltage regulation is minus 3.67%. Coming to MMF method, unity power factor. After plotting OCC and SCC, we need to determine E dash, and E dash is obtained as 273.71 volt. Corresponding to 273.71 volt from OCC, IF1 is obtained as 7.98 ampere and IF2 is 6.91 ampere. Substituting IF1 and IF2 in order to find out resultant field current using this expression, resultant field current is obtained as 10.55 ampere, and corresponding to this IFR, E0 from OCC is obtained as 313.60. Substituting these values in the expression for voltage regulation is obtained as 23.45%. Now let's solve the second case, that is 3/4 full load. 3/4 full load rated armature current is 3/4 into full load rated current, that is coming as 29.52 ampere. Then coming to EMF method, 3/4 full load, 0.8 power factor lagging. Substituting all the parameters in this expression, E0 is obtained as 403.27 volt and corresponding voltage regulation is obtained as 58.75%. Coming to EMF method, 3/4 full load, 0.8 lead. After substituting all the parameters, E0 is obtained as 220.70 volt and corresponding voltage regulation is obtained as minus 13.12%. Then EMF method, 3/4 full load, unity power factor. Substituting all the parameters in this expression, E0 is obtained as 327.36 volt and corresponding voltage regulation is obtained as 28.87%. Then MMF method, 3/4 full load, 0.8 power factor lagging. After plotting OCC and SCC, we need to calculate E dash. Here I is 3/4 full load current. So substituting all these parameters in this expression, E dash is obtained as 265.84 volt and corresponding to 265.84 volt from OCC, the field current IF1 is 7.56 ampere. The field current corresponding to I rated, that is 29.52 ampere under short circuit test, that is IF2 is obtained as 5.26 ampere. Then resultant field current using this expression is obtained as 11.51 ampere and corresponding E0 is 324.50 volt. Substituting E0 and V in this expression, voltage regulation is obtained as 27.74%. Then MMF method, 3/4 full load, 0.8 power factor lead. This is E dash and E dash is obtained as 265.84 volt and corresponding IF1 is 7.56 ampere and IF2 is 5.26 ampere and resultant field current is obtained as 6.09 ampere. Then E0 corresponding to this resultant field current, that is 6.09 ampere, is obtained as 230.10 volt. After substituting these values in this expression, voltage regulation is calculated as minus 9.42%. Then MMF method, 3/4 full load, unity power factor case. is E dash is obtained as 268.80 volt and corresponding IF1 is obtained as 7.70 ampere and IF2 is 5.26 ampere. Then resultant field current is obtained as 9.33 ampere. So E0 corresponding to IFR from the graph is obtained as 297.30 volt and the voltage regulation is obtained as 17.03%. So this is the summary of this problem corresponding to different power factor condition and different loaded condition with EMF and MMF method. Here it can be seen that the voltage regulation obtained by EMF method is greater than that of MMF method.